Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome to a brand new video. Hope you're having a blessed day, as always. Today we're going to be reviewing a beat that I made based on a Lil Tecca kind of internet money style, like very melodic kind of new style. I don't know, I guess like kind of Dro Kenji, you know, that pool of artists, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So yeah, I really like this beat. This is like one of my favorite beats I actually made in a long time. And I heard Lil Tecca is dropping soon, so I'd assume that some style of beats like this will probably be on that project, since, you know, he is usually heavily influenced by internet money. So yeah, anyways, without further ado, make sure you leave a like, make sure you hit the sub, you know, just let's get right into it. Boom! Meep, meep. Alright, so we are in FL Studio, okay? So I have been absolutely loving making piano beats lately. I don't know, there's something about making like piano melodies that just really, I don't know, it just hits different, man. It really does. So I've been using the poor man's keyscape, which is actually called Addictive Keys. I can't remember how much it is. I got it so long ago, but it works just as well as like Keyscape. You don't need Keyscape, bro. Come on, scratch it off the list. You don't need Keyscape, all right? Get Addictive Keys, works just as well, and it's way fucking cheaper too, okay? And it's also not gonna fucking take up 7,000 gigabytes of your storage, all right? So anyways, I started with Addictive Keys. I'm in the minor scale, started out in D. So basically what I did with this pattern here is, I've kind of explained this before, but this is the easiest way for me to make melodies. So basically what I do is I'll start out with my root notes. So I'll start here. Oh my, bruh, Zoom actually kills me every time. I started with these two notes here. Oh my god, fuck you. So this is what I started out with, alright? So basically, to make it a little easier, I started out with these two notes here, okay? So what I like to do and what makes it easier for me is like hearing what the root notes sound like, just because it already gives you an idea of what the actual chord progression is going to sound like, right? So we'll just play this so you kind of hear what it sounds like. Right, okay, so then if we bring everything back, so basically what I did was I followed the scale. Obviously it's not gonna look proper in some places because I'm not in the proper scale, but yeah, basically I just followed the minor scale and I just added keys. And then another really cool thing that you can do as well too is, let's say, you know, this note was up here, and let's say you did what I did and you did D4, D4, and then a G sharp minor. And it just doesn't really sound exactly what you want. You know, the cool thing that you can do is you can really go through any of these notes in the chord progression and you can just do an octave down, and then you can just kind of test and see what it sounds like. See, and that sounds a lot better because you've brought it down an octave and it's adding more vibrance to the actual chord. So like when you're creating chords, you want to make sure that you're having those low end notes as well too, because that's what really brings out the vibrance and gives you like the emotion within the chords. That's kind of how I go about making my melodies. You know, just because you start with, you know, a bass line like this does not mean you have to stick with it, you know, the entire time. Sometimes, yeah, you do have to, you know, move notes around, you know, sometimes you gotta do this, but that's all a part of creating the melody, is, you know, experimenting and understanding what sounds better. And then the next time you go about doing it, you'll remember, oh yeah, this note sounds good with this note, or this note sounds good when this note plays after it, you know, stuff like that. That'll all like kind of come along the more you just practice and experiment with your melodies. This is the best part about making beats. So when you get a really good chord progression, you're basically done with the melody, to be completely honest. Like, you've done the hard part of the melody. What I like to do, and something I mentioned in my other tutorials, is you can just literally take this melody, copy it into an ARP, a pad, or really anything, another key, something, and you can just basically fill out the melody just like that. So what I got here is Electra X. This is from their stock bank, the ARP multiplier. This is the bell mod. So if you don't know what I'm saying, this is from their stock banks, the ARP multiplier, and then it's right there, bell mod. And yeah, like I said, this is literally just a copy and paste of the other chord progression, but it sounds insane. So I'll just show you what it sounds like. Alright, so yeah, that is incredible. I really like that, and it adds so much vibrance to the melody. Next, I have another Electra X, and this is also from the Art Multiplier. This is called Dream Maker. One thing, if you are going to use this one, I think the decay and the damp are like at 100%, and it sounds absolutely like it's overwhelming as hell, and it just sounds crazy. So if you're going to use this sound, make sure you crank those down quite a bit. It'll literally just blow up your computer and your speakers. Okay, so then next I have Electra X as well. This is from their keys. This is called the Dance Piano. Again, these are all stock Electra X banks that I've used so far. Just a reminder as well too, I know I say this in all of my tutorials, but as soon as you create like a chord progression, the easiest way to go about making counter melodies is literally just follow your chord progression and the notes that you've already used. It is the simplest way to create a melody and to create something that's actually going to sound good. So don't overthink things and, you know, start putting notes where they're not supposed to be. Just follow your chord progression, and then, you know, just go play around with the octaves. You know, there's so many things that you can do. What I like to do is I like to, you know, follow my chord notes and then put it up an octave, put it down an octave. Sometimes just doing simple things like that will make a huge difference in your counter melodies. Okay, so then the last piece is Electra X as well. Wow, I use Electra for all of this. I guess everything that I used was from their stock banks. This is called Amber Echoes. Let me just play these together for you so you can hear what it sounds like. This is by far one of my favorite melodies that I've made in a really long time. So yeah, here's what it sounds like. So yeah, that is the melody, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, you know, doing this kind of stuff is easy. All you have to do is create a good chord progression. Focus on the chord progression and then build off of that. Once I built the chords, everything else was simple. I literally just copy and pasted it and then added some very simple counter melodies that followed the notes that were already in my chord progression. It's very easy to complicate making beats and creating melodies and stuff, but if you can remember like the simple steps, just like what I showed, you know, it kind of breaks it down a little bit and, you know, kind of takes away that overwhelming feeling of like creating melodies in general, because it can be very overwhelming, especially if you're trying to create something and you can't. It can be so frustrating, because I've been there, trust me. I know we've all been there. But anyways, for the drums, very simple. I keep my drums simple almost all the time. So for the 808, all I did was just follow the root notes, as you can see, and just chop them up just to give them a little bit of bounce. And yeah, this 808 is the one I use all the time. This is the number one 808, and this is from my Tesla drum kit. And then I have the lemon kick. This is also from my Tesla drum kit. I'm not going to play the whole thing. Hi-hat, just a two-step hi-hat, and this is the smiley face hi-hat. This is also from my drum kit. And then this is the cross open hat, and that's just on the one. And then we have this blip perk. I'm sure you've heard of this. This is also from my kit. And I believe everything from these drums are from my Tesla drum kit. So if you are interested, link will be down below on our website. So next we have the Zay snare. This is just kind of a little perk to add some bounce. It won't really make sense until you hear it all together. And then we have the star snare. And then we have the money clap. And if you've heard my tutorials before, I use that clap all the time. That's my go-to. But yeah, this is what the drums sound like all together. Like I said, this is super simple, very, very like basic drums on this. As you can tell, like when you hear it all together, it comes together and becomes cohesive. That's kind of the whole idea, and something that I've really started to learn over like this past year is like instead of going crazy like on one piece, it's better to spread it out into a few other pieces and then bring them together. But it's also very easy to overdo it, so you got to make sure that you know where to, you know, draw the line when it comes to adding stuff. I feel like that's something that you just kind of learn over time. But yeah, adding smaller things together to create the bigger picture is the best way to go for producing, in my opinion. That's going to be the beat, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to play it for you real quick, but before I do that, make sure you leave a like, hit the sub, and leave a comment. Let us know what you want to see next. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Thank you for all the support. It means the world to us. We just hit 5 million views total on YouTube, which is just absolutely insane. Couldn't do it without you guys, so thank you. If you haven't already, make sure you check out our website. We got so much stuff on there, lots of free stuff as well, too. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Love y'all. Wah, 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 wah.